as we know, Pluto has been ingressing and retrograding out of Aquarius, and it's there finally now for the next 19 years. So, along with this full moon week, we have Pluto stationing retrograde again. So it's barely moving, and in 2 days it will completely stop. I mean, barely, like minutes a day. And then in 2 days it will stop, and then it'll start going backwards in Aquarius. So the fixed signs, Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, will feel it a lot, the squares and the oppositions. You're going to feel it anyway for 21 years, but when it moves, 19 years, but when it moves, you're going to feel it more. So just to give you an idea of how it moves, it is painfully slow. So it will definitely help us continue to develop our Buddha nature. Are you cold? There. So we are Buddhas in the making, which is perfect because we're in the month of Vesak, which is Gautama Buddha's birthday, passing and enlightenment. And it's all celebrated on the full moon in May, and there's 2 full moons in May. May is bookended by full moons. So we have the first one, May 1st, we just had. The next one will be the once in the blue moon. So we'll do something. We'll do something around that.
What thing is that? At the end?
It's now. So different Buddhist cultures celebrate it at different times. So some celebrate it on the 1st. United Nations says Vesak official day is May 14th, has nothing to do. I think that might even be a new moon. The second one is the 31st. Yeah, the 31st. So it's bookended by these full moons, and this is very much that Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo quadrant, those axes that we're working on. So if you can, I know everybody has a phone or a pen, yeah? I want you to write down these dates because I want you to go back in your pictures and look at what happened during these times. And when it dawned on me when I was putting together the classes, I was like, holy smokes, there it is. So Pluto's sneaky. It's the planet of secrets. It's your biggest fears coming to light, right? The fear that I could get another car accident coming back around again. The fear of, oh my God, So remember, it rules death, but not necessarily your death. Although when people ask me when am I going to die and they're getting close, I could kind of tell on their chart. But with the Pluto aspects, however, it's the death of something that has to die, like a pattern, a relationship, whatever it is, and so you could be the phoenix rising. It's transformational, right? It has to burn down and then be born anew. And this full moon was very much about that with relationships. So the dates, the retrograde window, it starts now, May 4th. Is today May 4th?
3rd.
No, 3rd. And every year it goes retrograde for several months, but this time it's not going to retrograde all the way back into Capricorn like it did before. So it doesn't, because it's so slow, it doesn't present immediate outward change. It's kind of this slow progression of a buildup of things that will start to shift. And then all of a sudden you're in it and you're like, wait, what just happened? Why is this happening? Because we don't even realize this slow progression of events. So the first, sorry, it's on this one. So the timeline, the first entry was May 23rd, 2023. And you can look a few days on either side of it because we're empaths, right? We often feel things like a little bit before. May 23rd, 2023, first entry. The second went, so in June 2023 to January 2024, it went back into Capricorn. It wasn't done with Capricorn. June 2023 to January 2024. Then January 20th, 2024, so at the very end of January, it came back into Aquarius again and gave you a little glimpse of what was about to occur.
Say that one again.
January 20th, 2024. Okay, so you're going to be looking at your pictures on all these dates and trying to piece together. May through October 2024, it started going backwards again. May to October 2024. So that's 2 years ago.
Pluto is what's going backwards and all that.
Pluto. Yeah. Okay, then November 19th, 2024, it started going back in again. This is the permanent re-entry into Aquarius. It means it's not going back into Capricorn in our lives ever again. So November 19th, you're going to look at that date. Permanent entry into Aquarius. And many, remember we were talking about it, many people are like, okay, now we're in the Aquarian age. Pluto has arrived. Okay, October 11th, 2025, it's fully direct. And so that buildup of events from March 2023, March 23rd, 2023, to October 11th, 2025, that is, oh, here, this is what's going on. Oh shit. So look at all of those dates. And when I did that, I was like, oh, and I didn't catch the glimpses of what was happening in our lives. Like there was little things of it, but I didn't catch like the full perspective. And I didn't really think about it because I thought, well, Pluto in Aquarius just has to do with groups and group dynamics and relationships with friends and acquaintances. But no, it's all of your relationships. It's all of your relationships. So even a family dynamic is a relationship, right? It is a group relationship. So if you think, well, it's not going to happen to anything in my family because this is family, it's not acquaintances. No, that's a group dynamic. So you can look for shifts in group dynamics then, like maybe, I don't know, maybe that's when you came in, right? A couple of years ago to here, you found us here.
Oh, yeah.
That was a shift in a group dynamic and you went, somebody brought you and you went, oh, my people, these are my people, right? Or you went, people were like, oh, this job doesn't resonate with me anymore. I'm like, I gotta get out of here. Or this, whatever it is, you had a shift then. Something happened. So this retrograde is it's about, Pluto is power. It's power, it's control, it's fear, it's money. Often people with all the money have a lot of the power and they're determining things that happen in our lives. So you have to look at power dynamics in a relationship. Where is the group or a person trying to control you, or are you trying to control a person or a group? And we'll be reviewing that power dynamic. And we're going to review it for a while. It's going to go till mid-October this year. So we have from May right now to October 14th that it's going backwards and reviewing all of this. And then what does that work for you? Or does it not work for you? Do you have to make a shift? Were you overly stubborn about one thing? Were you totally blind to something, right? Were you, are you like, yeah, I am not available for this energy anymore. This energy is still happening. And why am I still doing this? Or why is that person still doing it? Why do I feel, it's very much victim-victimizer. Where do I still feel like a victim in this? Where am I still feeling like I'm being persecuted and I haven't done anything about it? Because I'll just hope it'll get better. Right, so we're gonna do something about it today. And I suggest, if you're open to it, I suggest you doing this as a sadhana until the retrograde's over, this mantra as a sadhana. And even if you're like, oh, I don't feel like chanting today, just play it in the background. There's a million renditions of Maha Mrityunjaya. Like, you'll find it everywhere, okay? So there's going to be the shift from attachment to alignment. So it's the Scorpio moon was dissolving attachments that weren't healthy. And I listened to a beautiful talk on attachments yesterday, and we could be attached to so many things, right? We could be attached to a person. We could be attached to something the way it's always been, a pattern. We could be attached to even good things. I'm attached to my spirituality. I'm very attached to my teaching. I'm very attached to my teacher training coming up, right? That's an attachment. So we have to have we have to move those attachments into alignment, right? I'm attached to whatever, a cold plunge. I'm attached, right? It's good for you, but where are you overly attached, and where is it, I have to do something versus it is in alignment, or I have to go here. And then you go sit there and you're like, oh, God, like, why did I choose to come here? Why? Because I said I would come here. I said I would do it, you know. Oh, okay. How did that work out for you? I did, right? I mean, I went to something I didn't feel like, I really didn't want to go. And like, the walls were closing in on me, and I got like really hot and really stuffy, and there was no airflow, and I was like, why did I? Because I said I would. Oh, God. Okay. And then like I actually like saw a Pluto person, and I'm like, the Pluto person! Oh shit! And then I gotta go back to the States and go, when did I tell that Pluto person to get out of my life? Oh, and then Pluto retrograde, boom, there they are. Was that in alignment? Was it not? Is there something unresolved there that I need to look? There's no accidents that I walked in and the Pluto person was there. I mean, how the universe orchestrates these things, it's phenomenal to me. I'm still amazed, and I teach it, and I'm still amazed that the universe blows me away. Okay, so if the situation feels paused or unresolved, that's okay, because remember, it is slow, painfully slow. Like fingernails on a chalkboard in super slow motion. That's Pluto retrograde. Okay? Slower than that. And you just can't wait for it to be over, and then they find more chalkboard at the bottom. Like that's it.
Their nails get longer.
So their nails get longer, yeah. So that's how slow it is. Their nails can grow longer. It's gonna get more chalkboard. That's how slow it is. Okay, so this is a phase of restructuring. Now, what's gonna feel better is that we're in Taurus. And so you're gonna feel that things are restructuring and becoming more grounded and stable, even with the slow movement. It's almost like the movement's slow enough for Taurus to grab it and solidify it for you. Grab it and solidify it, because right, if it's too fast, Taurus can't grab it. Where'd it go? Right? There's some Aries Phoenix flying by and it couldn't grab it. The Taurus is like, I gotta ground this into a new reality. So a new reality being birthed, it takes time. And we're like, people are tired of the old, right? They're tired of it, and they're like, you could see the resistance bubbling up and boiling up, and I keep asking, like, when are people gonna have enough of this? Like, I don't understand why people are not rioting on the streets, but where are they? But just wait. So it's this slow bubble. So the big question to ask yourself are, where are we going, and what has to be transformed first? So the Scorpio full moon was giving you a glimpse of what still has to be transformed, what still has to be let go of, because what you want isn't showing up yet. There's all those planets in Aries, but it isn't showing up yet because you haven't had that closure or that final burn or whatever it is. It's like when there's a fire in a house and then there's remnants of a half-burned couch, and you're like, well, what am I going to do with a half-burned couch? Oh, geez. So should I torch the rest of it? Should I take it to the dump? What should I do? It's kind of like that. There's still a little of the unresolved, but you got a glimpse of what can be new. And we got that big glimpse for the Aries new moon with all those planets. So this is the newness. So we're gonna do the ostrich kriya. It's not called ostrich kriya, I call it, because you start with an ostrich move. And then we're gonna do the mantra, the Mahamrityunjaya, because this mantra, if you read about this mantra, it's so amazing. It's one of the most powerful death-conquering mantras. So if people feel like they're going to die or they have like a terminal disease, people in the family, and they will chant this mantra in India. They'll chant it. They do it with water, putting the water over them, washing away. Whatever ails you, you find some peace with it, with this mantra. It acts like a forklift in challenging times. So it totally uplifts you. It supports us to overcome fear, Pluto, fear in general, fear of death, terminal illness, and reminds us of our true immortal self. It lifts the veil of karma and misperception. It gives the reciter protection from dark energy forces and can restore marriage and help overcome poverty. So all those sound like really good, right? Yeah, I mean, I remember somebody going to Kundalini Yoga in LA at that teacher training, and they're like, this saved my marriage. This training saved my marriage, because they realized they had all this awakenings. When you start practicing this yoga, you start having these sacre blue moments about what's going on and about yourself in the relationship. So it's very nourishing, protecting, empowering, brings positive energy and healing for rejuvenation. All right, so we'll tune in